The war in northwest Pakistan is an armed conflict between the Pakistani army and Islamist militias, made up by local tribesmen, the Taliban and foreign extremists. It began in 2004 when tensions rooted in the Pakistani army's search for al-Qaeda members in Pakistan's mountainous Wazirtan area escalated into armed resistance by local tribesmen. Clashes erupted due to the Pakistani troops, al-Qaeda, and other militias joined by local rebels and pro-Taliban forces. The Pakistani actions were presented as a part of the war on terrorism and had connections to the war on Taliban insurgency in Afghanistan. After a truce in September 2006, clashes escalated again in 2007, with local tribesmen ousting militant Uzbeks and attacking the Pakistani security forces again in July 2007. The war lasted about 10 years and about 78,946 people died.
The war in northwest Pakistan can be connected back to the unpopular war during the years of 1955 through 1975. The president during this time was Eisenhower. The war was very unpopular in the United States because there were many young men under the age of 21 being drafted to a war they didn't know anything about. By the end of the war, more than 3 million people, including 58,000 Americans, were killed in the conflict. 19 years of war with North Vietnam just ended with the U.S. withdrawing its forces from Vietnam. All men killed during the war died for a country that didn't know what they were getting themselves into. The North Vietnamese were more concentrated in becoming free, so they created smart tactics, while the U.S. was weak in ideas. They lost because of underestimating the North Vietnamese people. The war in northwest Pakistan is very similar to the Vietnam War. Both soldiers going into war didn't exactly know what or who they were looking for, because they weren't fighting a whole country. In Vietnam, the country is in civil war already, and in northwest Pakistan, both the American Army and the Pakistani Army are looking for participants and supporters of al-Qaeda.
The United States should stay isolated. The only involvement we will have is supplying food, clothes, and aid to the people suffering without aiding their armies.
Getting involved, we turn the anger that Pakistan had with the terrorists to the United States. Our best bet is to stay uninvolved in the conflict, but still send aid to the citizens suffering in the country.
This is not our war to fight anymore. Our main concern should remain our own local issues. Many civilians in Pakistan believe that our involvement is not necessary. It would be more beneficial to stay isolated.